Well, good morning everybody. Welcome to Life on Board Amy Joe.
It's earlier than normal though.
Yeah. The rumour that 5 o'clock exists is true, by the way.
It does.
Yeah. We're actually moored in Thurmaston and we're ready to move on through Leicester. Now, everybody keeps telling us, oh, get through Leicester, you don't want to moor in Leicester. And we've watched some of the vlogs and people have stayed in Leicester. So we don't quite know whether we should or we shouldn't. But I'm not a city person. I'm not happy in cities. So I think we're going to go through and we're just going to see where we get today. Yeah. There are safe moorings in the middle of Leicester.
So if we rebel, we may have to stop.
Yeah. But we'll see how we get on. It's currently 10 to 7 in the morning and we're going to be getting underway shortly. So stay with us and enjoy the cruise, folks. On leaving our overnight moorings, we had planned to stop in the centre of Leicester at the Castle Gardens Park on safe moorings. However, when we got there, all the safe moorings were full. So we decided we would carry on and ended up mooring up at Glen Parva, on the outskirts of the city. After an overnight stay there, we then carried on and we ended up mooring up at Kilby Bridge. Well, we're underway and literally within seconds we're in the first lock of the day. We know we've got 8 to do to get into the centre of Leicester and there's another 8 to do on the way out of Leicester, so we'll see how we get on today. An outdoor pursuit centre just here. Looks like it might be residential, i.e. whoever's on the outdoor pursuits stay there. Somebody's been busy. Can't work on that.
There's another bridge.
That was a bit disconcerting because we're approaching the bridge and I couldn't see the left-hand arch. All I could see was 2 very low arches, 2 arches
no entry.
with no entry on it. It's not until you round the bend that you can see this last arch on the left, and that's the one we go through. Like the outskirts of most cities, Leicester is no different, and as we approached this lock the graffiti started to become evident. It was starting to look a little bit shady. There was 2 characters sat there, and when they saw Smudge they took an unhealthy interest in him. I had to be on my guard to make sure that they didn't try and steal him. Now poor Ian in the last lock had a bit of a problem with something round his prop, and I gotta say he's had quite a nice haul. This is what we got off the prop. It's quite decorative actually, but I don't think it would have suited the prop. And it just goes on. There was loads of it. It looks like some sort of Indian dress or Indian scarf of some sort, but he's got it all off and we're good to go. The building over there that looks a bit puffy and blown up like it's an air balloon is actually Britain's answer to NASA. That's Britain's Space Centre. It's actually in Leicester for some reason. Well, we're now on the edge of the city, and apart from the usual city detritus in the canal, all's looking good. There's certainly some impressive old mill buildings that have been converted into apartments, and it's a pretty good towpath so far, so good. Some people call it graffiti, some people call it art. I like to call it art because that is some good artwork. It hasn't been tagged with signatures and all the rest of it, so it's pretty good. Well, I've got to say, Memory Lane Wharf moorings, yeah. The graffiti is brilliant in Leicester. Good on you, Leicester. That is fantastic.
1967.
You're certainly showing other towns the way to go with decent graffiti.
It's good. Whoever the artist is.
Whoever the artist is, he's quite talented.
Even Canal and River Trust have got their name on it.
Yeah, yeah. I don't even notice. Even Canal and River Trust have got in on the act. Look. I've got to say, if you're into industrial archaeology and building styles, then Leicester's the place to come. There's some lovely architecture here, even in these old factory buildings. They look brilliant. There's definitely something about these buildings. I know they looked a bit derelict and what have you, but they've certainly got character in themselves, I have to say. I know they're not everybody's cup of tea and some people would turn their nose up to it, but I find it quite fascinating actually. What's behind the facade of these buildings? What's going on behind these walls? It must be interesting to find out. We just passed one place and the smell of pizza was absolutely divine. So what have we got behind this place, I wonder? Yeah. Loving the graffiti in Leicester. There's no doubt about that. Like I say, not all graffiti is everybody's cup of tea, but there's some talented artists here, I've got to say. Seems to be a lot of rejuvenation going on in the town or the city. Certainly in this area, these look fairly new properties. Quite a nice outlook with that weir opposite. But they're all empty at the moment, so they must be new builds. Doesn't he look cute? He's not impressed. Fortunately, this is the bad side of graffiti. Just utter drizzle. But on the good side, they do have quite nice ornate bridges. I'll give them that. just after the ornate bridge, we had started coming into the main centre of the town, and this next stretch was at least a mile long in a dead straight line. And obviously straight stretches of canal are very popular with rowing clubs, so we had to keep dodging rowing boats every so often on our way down. I've sped it up a little bit because it would have taken ages to show it all, and it is quite interesting nonetheless. Just over the back there is the home of Leicester Football Club, and he of Walker's Crisp fame used to play for him. But the spectacles here, look at this, reminiscent of Horseshoe Falls, do you think? What a beautiful weir. Yeah, it was Gary Lineker, for those of you who don't know. Forgot to film it. That was the last lot of the River Soar. We are now on the Grand Union, or more precisely the Leicester branch of the Grand Union. Leaving Leicester city centre behind, we started to move out into the suburbs again, and out in the countryside we came across this gentleman standing on a bridge, staring at his phone but waving at us. It was then that we realised that the gentleman was one of our viewers of our live feed and was actually watching himself on the live feed. He'd come to say hi, and his name was Ollie Waring. In fact, Ollie was that keen that he stayed with us while we worked the next lock, and he helped Chris and Carol to open the gates for us. It was really lovely to meet you, Ollie, and it was nice of you to make time in your day to come and say hi to us. We're taking Smudge for his lunchtime walk, and we decided we'd come across the other side of the canal because we see lots of people walking their dogs along here, and it's actually really quite delightful. And of course Smudge is getting up to his antics.
You're gonna get wet.
He's
Be in the shower later.
having had a lovely day's rest here at Enderby, I think they call it, which is just below G's Lock. We're now moving on again today carried on down the Grand Union, and we've got about 7 locks to get through to Kilby Bridge, I think is our destination for today. So we'll see how we get on. It's been a fab spot here, I've got to say. Plenty of walking spots for Smudge. He had a lovely run around these fields yesterday, and we could let him off the lead, and he had a good run around the lead. They're obviously well maintained, the grass is cut to give you like a footpath across the fields, and beautiful spot, new moorings too. I don't think they've been here long, but if you're ever this way, they're worth a stop.
This lock.
Not bad, is it?
Not bad at all.
It's had 4 lock beams, 12 sets of gates, but it's still original. Good old Trigger, bless him. Good old Trigger, bless him. Trigger on Only Fools and Horses, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
With his broom. One thing we did notice in this area was the abundance of garden entertainment areas and garden pubs. They were very popular around here. So this is lock 33. Now we left lock 38, and to be honest with you, the vlog's full of us going through locks, so I haven't bothered filming them all, but we've still got a few more to go yet. Well, we're filling this one with just the ground paddles because there is no locked paddle on the gate. The gear's there, but there ain't no shaft. Same on the other gate as well. And not only is there no paddle on this one, but it's got an interesting locking mechanism. It can be padlocked shut or opened to use it. Not seen one like that before. After another busy day working locks, we eventually made it to Kilby Bridge and found a nice little spot to moor up for the night. So that's it for this one. I hope you've enjoyed the vlog, and we thank you for watching. Do stay safe, do take care, and we'll see you next time on Life on Board Amy Jo. Bye.